Hello aspirants, welcome back to the Key Concepts of Anthropology series. So friends, as a part of our Key Concepts to Anthropology series, so in today's discussion, let us try to discuss about archaeological anthropology. So this is another important branch in anthropology. So let's try to understand about archaeological anthropology in detail. So in today's discussion, our agenda would be to know about what is basically archaeological anthropology. And then what about the scope and significance of archaeological anthropology? And in this similar fashion, let us also try to explore about some of the basic facts related to archaeological anthropology. So this would be our major quest in today's discussion. So friends, let us begin with this note and let's not waste much of time. So if you see from the perspective of archaeological anthropology, so it's actually archaeological anthropology is nothing but it's a branch of anthropology which deals with the study of human beings with the help of the material remains that are available in the past. So that's nothing but archaeological anthropology. So first, if you see from the perspective of it, so archaeological anthropology is basically made up of two important words. So archaeological anthropology. It is basically made up of two words you can see here. So one is basically nothing but the archaeology. So and other is nothing but anthropology. So what do you mean by anthropology? It is very well known to all of you and most of you are aware of what is anthropology. So anthropology basically it deals with simply systematic study, that is study of human beings, isn't it? So study of human beings in a systematic fashion, in a scientific fashion, in a rational fashion, in a holistic manner. So that is nothing but anthropology. Now, what is archaeology? So archaeology is in fact, it is made up of two words. So one word is known as archais and other word is known as logos. So in Greek, archais refers to ancient or it can also called as old. So in the similar fashion, the word logos basically refers to study. So in general fashion to say what is archaeology, so friends try to understand this in a simple fashion, that in a simple fashion archaeology basically refers to simply study. It is nothing but the study of ancient, or we can say that it's nothing but study of human activity in the past. Study of human activity in the past. So that's how we can say about the archaeology. So now, if you see from the perspective of the word archaeological anthropology, so what does it connotes? So archaeological anthropology actually it's nothing but it's a branch so of anthropology, so which deals with the study of human beings, with the material remains of the past. With the material remains of the past. So this is what basically how we can define archaeological anthropology. So try to understand this logic. So archaeological anthropology is basically, it is nothing but it's a branch of anthropology which systematically deals with the study of human beings with the material remains of the past. So what are these material remains? So now we have to just explore about that. So if you see from the perspective of the archaeological anthropology, So archaeological anthropology, it tries to explore. That means most of the archaeological anthropologists or archaeologists, they will try to explore various objects. Like one thing is that there would be a lot of artifacts. So what do you mean by artifacts? So artifacts are nothing but those man-made objects that have been used or utilized by the human beings in the past. So artifacts, so it could be the tools, or it could be all the material that they have used. So that's how. So artifacts are nothing but all the man-made objects that the man has used in the past. So archaeological anthropology generally tries to explore such kind of things. So that, let's say, for example, if you think from the perspective of Harappan culture, so how did we get to know about Harappan culture? Because it was a prehistoric culture. So there we try to explore about some of the artifacts. So we have collected some of the artifacts and then we have reconstructed the past. So that's the subject matter of archaeological anthropology. In the similar fashion, it also tries to explore about eco-facts. So what do you mean by eco-facts? Eco-facts are nothing but basically they are the natural objects that are available and which are related to human beings. So let's say, for example, natural objects like, let's say, for example, bones of human beings. It would be available. So we can systematically analyze the bones, or we can systematically analyze the skeletons. Can you able to recollect that? So skeletons, so that we can date it. So we can go for dating methods, and through the dating methods we can identify and we can understand the various aspects related to that. So in that fashion, archaeological anthropology also tries to explore the eco-facts. So that is one another important aspect. So here we can also study about the seeds related to plants, like that. So that is another important aspect. So then we also tries to explore various sites. So there could be various sites, like be it could be Paleolithic sites, be it could be Neolithic sites, or Mesolithic sites, or prehistoric sites. So all of them, so we'll be exploring. So there are so many places. So we will explore them. So in archaeological anthropology. So from this perspective, so archaeological anthropologists, they will try to reconstruct the past by systematically studying, analyzing all these kind of material remains of the past. So that's the subject matter of the archaeological anthropology. So I hope it is clear to you. Now, if you happen to understand some of the basic facts about the archaeological anthropology, so my dear friends, try to remember that. So here there are certain important archaeological anthropologists, so whom we should remember. So if we happen to understand or talk from the perspective of archaeological anthropologists, so first we should try to recollect about the contributions of one of the famous scholars. So he is none other than Alexander Cunningham. So friends, first Alexander Cunningham, we should talk about him. So Alexander Cunningham is one important archaeologist come archaeological anthropologist who has done systematic contributions in studying various aspects. So in the year 1861, Alexander Cunningham, along with his exploration and excavation activities, so he was instrumental in establishing Archaeological Survey of India. I hope you might have heard about this. So Alexander Cunningham was instrumental and he founded Archaeological Survey of India. So with this kind of contributions, so Alexander Cunningham is famously regarded as father of Indian archaeology. So that is one thing that you have to remember. So he is famously regarded as father of Indian archaeology. So with the establishment of Archaeological Survey of India, so we could able to conduct so many explorations, we could able to conduct so many excavation activities. So that's one important aspect that we have to remember. Then another important archaeological anthropologist that whom we have to recollect in this context is Robert Bruce Foote. So Robert Bruce Foote. So Robert Bruce Foote also has started his exploration activities and excavational activities since 1863 onwards, and he had significantly contributed in developing the prehistoric archaeology. Prehistoric archaeology. So we will systematically, with this contribution, we will call him as father of Indian prehistory. Father of Indian prehistory. Are you able to follow this? So this is one another important aspect that you have to remember. So this is one thing you have to keep in mind. So then friends, if you see from the perspective of our further developments, so we should also talk about Christian Jorgensen Thompson. So Christian Jorgensen Thompson is one another influential person. So we have to, whom we have to discuss. So who is he? Christian Jorgensen Thompson. So he has significantly contributed in developing the key concept of three-age systems. So he developed the concept of three-age system. What is this three-age system? So it is nothing but the Stone Age. So one thing, it is nothing but Stone Age. Then next one, it is nothing but Bronze Age. And next it is nothing but the Iron Age. So he has significantly contributed in this particular aspect. So with his contributions, we now systematically study the prehistory in these headings. So that's one another important aspect. So this three-age system has become a basis for world archaeology. So this was one important aspect that you have to remember from the perspective of the three-age system. So I hope it is clear to you. So friends, you have to remember all these aspects in a systematic fashion. So is that it clear for you? Okay. Now let us try to explore more about this. So basically we have understood some of the important aspects about archaeological anthropology. Now if you see from the perspective of the simple aspects like what are the approaches or subfields or branches of archaeological anthropology. So what are the subfields of it? So if you look into the aspect of the subfields, so first one branch or one subfield of archaeological anthropology is, it is nothing but prehistoric archaeology. So first thing, it is prehistoric archaeology. So in prehistoric archaeology, what we do? So we will systematically study about where we will try to reconstruct the past. So with respect to the history that is before written records. So the period before written records is nothing but prehistory. So we will try to explore about such sites or such artifacts or such areas which were there belonging to the period before written records. So such period is known as prehistoric period. So we will try to explore about that in prehistoric archaeology. Is that clear? Then if you see, there is another subfield known as historic archaeology. So there are other sites so which are available after the availability of written records. So sites after written records. So this period is known as historical period. So we will try to explore about these sites and these kind of activities also. So that we do in historic archaeology. Then friends, like we have another important subfield that is known as ethnoarchaeology. So what do you mean by ethnoarchaeology? So ethnoarchaeology, here we will systematically try to study about some of the important aspects, like we will try to reconstruct the past with reconstruct the past cultures with the material remains of the past. So here we will try to reconstruct the past cultures. We will try to reconstruct the past cultures and we will explore the past cultures. So this is one thing that we do in ethnoarchaeology. So that's why this kind of archaeology is also known as, it is known as the ethnography of the extinct societies, because we are trying to reconstruct the past cultures with the available material remains. So that's one thing. So this is one another important aspect. So I hope this is clear to you. So then the other important thing is, other important subfield is known as the experimental archaeology. Experimental archaeology is another important branch. So usually we will try to do some experimental activities in the archaeology, so which has been systematically dealt by experimental archaeology. So I hope it is also clear to you. So these are nothing but some of the important subfields of the archaeology. So one is basically known as the prehistoric archaeology, the next one is nothing but the historic archaeology, and the next subfield is known as the ethnoarchaeology, and final one is known as experimental archaeology. So that is one thing. So this is basically with respect to the subfields. So now let us try to explore the scope and significance. So what is this scope and significance of archaeological anthropology? So systematically, if you see in a simple fashion, so first important thing that we should see and that we can understand is that, so the archaeological anthropology basically tries to explore the prehistoric cultures significantly. So first thing, it is nothing but exploration of past, or in simple fashion to say particularly prehistoric cultures. Prehistoric cultures. So this is one important scope and significance. So we will be systematically exploring the prehistoric cultures. So what we do here, we will try to look for some simple sites. So here, what are the various basic steps? So how do we do this? So let's try to understand this so that you can further understand it in a systematic fashion. So what we do, or what are the methods that are employed in archaeological anthropology? So first what we do, so we will try to conduct a field study. So first we will do a survey. In survey, we will do a systematic field study. So there we will try to check that whether certain sites are available or not. So this we will do first. And then after doing survey, then we will find that there is a site which is available from the ancient period. So then what we do, then we will go for systematic excavation of the site. So this is the next method or next step that we do. Then after doing excavation, so we will get some sort of findings. So that for that findings, what we do, we will systematically try to study them with the help of some dating methods. So with the help of dating methods, like there are so many dating methods. If you say from the perspective of the dating methods, like carbon dating method, C4 dating method, it is one thing. Or like dendrochronology, it is one kind of dating method. So we have so many methods like that. So we will go for this dating methods. So with this, we will find some findings. So once we get findings, then we go for analysis of data. So systematically, we will analyze the data. So after analyzing the data, so finally, we will go for interpretation of the data. Interpretation of the data. So these are nothing but some of the important steps that we do. So here, when we see first scope, if you see, so exploration of the past cultures or prehistoric cultures. So when we find a site, then we will do all these particular aspects. So that is one thing. So now we have explored the prehistoric culture. After exploring, what we will do? After exploration, we will try to reconstruct the past civilizations or past cultures. Reconstruct the past cultures or civilizations. So simply think about how we have reconstructed the Harappan culture. Harappan culture was also one of the prehistoric culture. So how we have reconstructed, we have excavated various sites. So from that excavations, we have got a lot of material. Be it could be bronze dancing girl, be it could be the image of mother goddess, be it could be the seals, there are so many seals, and be it could be the Pashupati seal. So all of these have explained about some of the cultural aspects of that particular period. So that's how we have reconstructed the past. So from that point of view, archaeological anthropology helps in reconstruction of the past cultures. So this we systematically deal in ethno-archaeology. So I hope that is clear to you. Then after reconstructing, it also helps in systematic understanding of something that is known as the cultural evolution. So what we can do? So we can go for systematic understanding of the cultural evolution. So try to just think from this perspective. Once you get to know about some important aspects. So in this period, like this particular site belongs to this period, this particular site belongs to this period, this particular site belongs to this period. So when we get to know that, then what we can do, so we can systematically keep them under chronological order. So there's like in this period culture was like this, in this period the culture was like this, in this period the culture was like that. So we can systematically explain and construct the cultural evolution in a systematic fashion. So archaeological anthropology also helps in this particular regard. So that is one important aspect. Now, we have understood the process of cultural evolution also. So then what we do, so we will try to preserve and we will try to conserve the cultural heritage. So conservation and preservation of cultural heritage is another important significance and scope. So conservation and preservation of cultural heritage, it is another important advantage or significance of the archaeological anthropology. So I hope this is also clear to you. So friends, if you see from the perspective of it, so the archaeological anthropology, in fact, it is a kind of interdisciplinary subject, or it involves interdisciplinary research where we involve various aspects, like be it could be history, be it could be the archaeology, be it could be the various scientific concepts like the dating methods or such kind of things. So it is an interdisciplinary research kind of subject where we will have to explore and we will have to study different aspects. So that's one thing. So with archaeological anthropology, we can reveal the human origins and human developments in a systematic fashion. That's one thing. And there, it can also help in promoting and understanding the cultural aspects. So that is one another important significance. So it also helps in preservation and conservation of the cultural heritage. So this is another important significance. So like that, we have different aspects from the archaeological anthropology. So I hope you have understood the basic significance or basic scope. So this is one important aspect. So as archaeological anthropology involves all these things, so archaeological anthropology can also be called in different terms. So archaeological anthropology can also be called as, first, it is nothing but the anthropology of the dead. So one important thing. So it is also known as anthropology of the dead. So try to recollect this terminology also, because these are nothing but some of the important terms that we use. Okay. So then why we will call it as anthropology of the dead? Because we are systematically analyzing the past dead aspects, like be it could be bones, skeletons, or such kind of things. Then it is also known as the prehistoric anthropology. Prehistoric anthropology. So this is one another important aspect. Then it is also known as the ethnography of extinct societies. Ethnography of extinct societies. This is another important epithet that we can give to the archaeological anthropology. Then on whole, how we can say or how we can explain archaeological anthropology means it is nothing but it's the systematic study of human beings, systematic study of human beings with the material remains of the past. With the material remains of the past. So these things you have to remember from the perspective of the archaeological anthropology. So friends, I hope you are clear with the very basic concepts about archaeological anthropology. So here we will systematically study various aspects related to the human origin and human development. So human origin and human development in a systematic fashion. And not only this, we will also systematically study about the cultural evolution. Cultural evolution in a systematic fashion. So this is the subject matter of the archaeological anthropology. So I hope it is clear to you now with respect to the archaeological anthropology. So simply you can just see these are the various things that we have learned. So first we have understood what is archaeological anthropology. So then we have moved on to understand the things like, let's say, the other aspects like what what is the subject matter of archaeological anthropology. Then we have understood what archaeological anthropologists will do and significant archaeological anthropologists. So then we have also understood what are the various subfields in the archaeological anthropology, and there we try to understand about the scope and significance of the archaeological anthropology. So finally we try to understand this aspect, that like what are the various epithets for archaeological anthropology. So with this, let us try to wind off today's discussion. So we'll meet in another important discussion with other important topics. So till then, try to revise all the important topics that we have dealt till now. So that's all for the day. So it's me, your Dr. Suresh Guramkonda, signing off. Thank you all of you.